Hello boys and girls, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. Now then, if I could only play one type of guitar for the rest of my life, it would be a Telecaster. And here are 5 reasons why that is the case.
Reason number 1.
Put simply, it's the price. If you want a lot of guitar for a little bit of money, then one of these needs to be on your list of guitars to check out. There are plenty of really good Telecaster style guitars at the budget end of the market, perhaps more than any other style of guitar in this sector. You could go for a Squier, you could go for a Harley Benton or a vintage branded instrument, and in any of these cases you'd be getting a really great guitar. In the case of the Harley Benton, you'd be paying around £100 for what amounts to a professional standard instrument. You can pay thousands of pounds for a Telecaster, but you don't have to. If you want to go for something that comes from Fender's custom shop and you have the money to afford it, then good luck to you. But you don't need to pay that kind of money for a good quality pro standard musical instrument. It's also worth remembering that when Leo Fender first designed the Telecaster, what he was trying to achieve was a good quality, affordable, mass-produced instrument for the working musician. So if you're going to spend thousands of pounds on an electric guitar, why would you choose to spend that kind of money on a hand-built, custom-made version of something that was intended originally to be a mass-produced guitar? It doesn't make sense.
Reason number 2.
Okay, so the Telecaster isn't necessarily an expensive guitar, but that doesn't make it a good guitar. There's no point in buying a cheap guitar if it just sounds cheap and nasty, but the Telecaster is anything but that. It is a brilliant sounding guitar, which brings me to reason number 2, the versatility of the instrument. It responds brilliantly to different styles of playing, as I will now demonstrate in this next clip. So it's a very versatile guitar, but any guitar can be versatile if you have the right number of pedals on your pedal board or the right number of presets on your amp modeler. But here's the thing, all of those sounds that you just heard in that clip all came from the guitar. What I mean by that is I didn't use any different effects on those different sounds, I didn't use any different settings on the amp. It was the same gain setting, for example, on that initial metal thing that I did as it was for the country thing at the end. All I was altering was the volume, tone and pickup selector on the guitar. And to prove that you can do that, here I am demonstrating it.
Reason number 3.
Now, there have been plenty of guitars over the years which have been able to deliver many varied and different sounds all in one package. But often what lets these guitars down is their sheer complexity, which brings me to reason number 3 why I love the Telecaster. It is simple. Right, let's imagine that you're on a darkened stage. There might be all kinds of lighting effects going on, there might be dry ice swirling around, and you're an entertainer, so you need to keep looking out at the audience. You don't want to be kind of peering at your guitar's controls all the time. In that kind of situation, do you really want to be dealing with a control layout on a guitar like this, or this, or this, or even this? Of course you don't. The genius of the Telecaster is that you've got a volume control, a tone control and a pickup selector, and that's it. And within the bounds of those 3 different controls, an infinite number of musical genres can be conjured up.
Reason 4.
Right, reason number 4 why I love the Telecaster. As well as being a fantastically versatile guitar just straight out of the box, its very simplicity also makes it a brilliant guitar for performing modifications on. Whether you want to make your guitar sound a little bit different, or look a little bit different, or focus on one particular genre, hotter pickups for rock and metal for instance, or a Bigsby trem for rockabilly styles, or some kind of string bending device for emulating country and western pedal steel licks, you can personalise a Telecaster and make an instrument that is uniquely your own. It's also a very easy guitar to upgrade. You can take an entry-level instrument and transform it into a high-end boutique guitar, or any combination of the above. There are a vast range of retrofit parts available all over the internet. Pickups, bridges, machine heads, scratch plates, wiring looms, switches and other electrical components. And everything can be bought for just a few quid. You can even buy an entire new body or neck. In fact, you can build a brand new guitar out of parts available online. And that's almost what I've done. Beginning with a cheap copy guitar picked up in a local charity shop for pennies, really, it's now a bit like Trigger's broom.
This old broom has had 17 new heads and 14 new handles in its time.
How the hell can it be the same bloody broom?
Well, here's a picture of it. What more proof do you need?
So, whatever your musical aspirations, whether they be metal, country, pop, indie, soul, jazz, blues, funk, punk, or just good old-fashioned rock and roll, you can pretty much guarantee you'll be able to realise them on a Telecaster of some shape or form. And now we come to reason number 5 why I love the Telecaster. Quite simply, it's all to do with the design. Allow me to explain. Okay, here's a question for you. What does the Telecaster have in common with the Transporter Bridge over the River Tees at Middlesbrough, Concorde, Sir Nigel Gresley's Mallard locomotive, and the Supermarine Spitfire? Well, the answer is, of course, that they're all designed to perform a particular function and do it well. And this is just a personal thing, you understand, but I think they all look rather beautiful. And that surely is the essence of good design, combining aesthetics with functionality. And for my money, you'll not find a better example of that than the humble Telecaster. Its simple, clean, minimalist lines have never gone out of fashion in its near 70-year production. And like we covered earlier, it's also kept pace admirably well with changing musical trends. Now, the term designer does get bandied around rather a lot these days. And in my humble opinion, I don't think you should be allowed to call yourself a designer if, for example, you design clothing which looks like a ribbed condom wearing a welder's mask, or a half-decomposed Sesame Street Big Bird puppet, or shoes which restrict mobility, effectively making the wearer voluntarily disabled, or a lemon squeezer which cannot extract citrus juice without falling over. None of these things have been well designed, yet the people who make them call themselves designers. And ironically, the Telecaster, let's have another look at it again, was designed by Leo Fender, who, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think he ever referred to himself as a designer. Certainly not in the sense of the word that we tend to use nowadays anyway. Yet he came up with an enduring blueprint for a modern electric guitar, something that you could even call a design classic. And I'm just going to take a wild punt here, but I reckon in 70 years' time we won't be saying the same about this. So there you have it, my 5 reasons for loving the Telecaster. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, well, why not hit the subscribe button? That way you will get to see more of them. Also, if you live on Teesside and you're interested in one-to-one guitar tuition, then get in touch via the details at the end of this video. Your first lesson is free. And even if you don't live on Teesside, then get in touch anyway, because I now offer lessons via Skype, and once again your first lesson will be free. And before I go, I'll just take a moment to give a plug for my current album, which is available on iTunes, Amazon, all the usual places basically. It's called The Whiskey Made Me Do It. It's full of instrumental, bluesy, shreddy rock guitar playing. A lot of tracks feature my Telecaster, as you would expect. Okay folks, that's it for now. I'll see you all next time, and have a nice day.